Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. The CFMEU stole more than $1 billion from members of its union that it was supposedly protecting, in Australia's largest ever case of wage theft. And the key to this theft were CFMEU union bosses appointed as directors to oversight agencies, to agencies supposedly protecting workers. They actually colluded and enabled that theft from their own members. This is verified. The figures are verified in an independent report that I commissioned called Coalminers Wage Theft, printed earlier this year. We have seen an analysis of 5 enterprise agreements in Central Queensland and the Hunter Valley, with the wage theft varying from $41,000 per person per year to $21,000 per person per year. The Independent Workers Union of Australia, now getting members in the mining sector in the Hunter Valley and Central Queensland, has just lodged a number of complaints with the Fair Work Ombudsman. One of the complaints is for $211,000 for one person in money owed due to wage theft. And the CFMEU drove that theft of wages, so what we can see is the former protector of miners has been their exploiter, with collusion of the regulator, the Fair Work Commission. And it's been verified independently, because the Mining and Energy Union, which split off from the CFMEU, couldn't handle the CFMEU. The Mining and Energy Union now looks after miners. They recently applied to the Fair Work Commission for negotiating a new enterprise agreement. And the uptick in wages has been around about $50,000. So it's verified that they've been underpaid. But what has not happened is that that same union, the Mining Energy Union, which used to be part of the CFMEU, will not go back and seek back pay, because they know that will expose them. No back pay. They'll let these miners lose $211,000. They'll let these miners lose $41,000 per person per year. So now we've got the Independent Workers Union of Australia making inroads into the mining industry in the coal mines of Central Queensland and Hunter Valley. And their union dues are less than half of the Mining and Energy Union. Why? Because they don't pay millions of dollars in donations to the Labor Party. That's why. Same with the Queensland Teachers Union, where the new Red Union in the teacher sector, dues are less than half of the Queensland Teachers Union. Same with the Nursing Union, where the new Red Union in the Nurses Professional Association of Queensland is the dues are less than half of the Queensland Nursing Union. What we need to do in the union side of things is to end monopoly unions and make sure that unions have competition. That'll fix it. Members can provide scrutiny when there's competition. But let's move to what I said earlier on in my opening statement, the directors. The directors in the coal mining agencies that oversaw this theft from coal miners. The directors on coal mines insurance ignored the plight of miners. We even know of miners who failed to get their coal mines insurance that they were entitled to, scrimping and saving and sleeping on their parents' garage floor in the Hunter Valley. That's what the CFMEU directors have done. They've turned a blind eye to their duties looking after miners. Coal Mines Insurance is a statutory agency with the CFMEU providing half the directors. Auscol Super, another one supposed to look after super. Auscol Super has provided services, admin services, to Coal Long Service Leave, another government entity. So Auscol Super, which has got directors from the CFMEU, provided the administrative services for Coal Long Service Leave. And that enabled the hiding of the wage theft because the CFMEU directors were 50% of Coal Mines Insurance, Coal Super, Coal Long Service Leave and Coal Services, which looks after basic things like health checks, medical checks. The Auscoal, by the way, has been renamed Mine Health and Wellbeing. That's a cute little phrase. And now Mine Super. These directors have prevented many of the benefits that they should have been overseeing going to miners. They stole the rights and entitlements of their own members. By the way, the Labor Party, under Julia Gillard, changed the Coal Long Service Leave legislation in 2011 to enable the use of casuals, because casuals are not allowed in the Black Coal Mining Industry Award, and they wouldn't have been able to get their super. So the Labor Party, to enable this scam, changed the Coal Long Service Leave legislation in 2011. Next thing, we can't rely upon the normal backstop, which is the Labor ministers, departments and agencies. I've just explained how the agencies are colluding, the departments are colluding, Labor ministers are colluding. This wage theft would not have occurred without the deliberate collusion of Labor Party MPs in the Hunter electorate, who just hid this atrocious theft. The Senate ordered an investigation a couple of months ago into this. 2 ministers since then, Minister Burke and Minister Watt, done nothing. Not even reported back to the Senate. Done nothing. That's the Labor Party. So much for looking after the workers. I wonder if it's because the Labor Party relies upon millions of dollars of donations from the CFMEU. Would that be the answer? Would it? Yeah. Yeah. So the Labor Party is wedded to donations from the CFMEU, the crooked CFMEU. Minister Watt, in his legislation, section 323B, item 2, on which we have an amendment, wants an absence of a disallowable regulations. He wants no disallowance so that he can control the whole show. Now, then we see the Labor Party also being tainted by John Setka. According to a report in the Australian Financial Review, in the 12th of April this year, David Marin Guzman, a journalist with the Australian Financial Review, said that the core issue here is that John Setka stood up and said he will take over the Labor Party and move members of the CFMEU into branches and then pre-select various representatives, candidates, and also the Premier. So that's what we see going on here. The Labor Party in a massive cover-up, massive wrestle with the CFMEU. And by the way, the size, I think Senator Hanson mentioned it, but the size of the funds in question are just short, $1 billion short of $100 billion in funds. $100 billion in funds, which is twice the Australian defence budget. And that's more money than Belgium makes in a year. And we want to take it away from parliamentary scrutiny? Like hell. That's why we need this reference to the committee. And then we see more tainting with Labor Party with the CFMEU connected with bikie gangs, criminal bikie gangs. And then we see Senator Hanson's terms of reference, and I must commend Senator Hanson for introducing this motion. The first terms of reference that I want to highlight, I'll read it. The broader for the committee, reference committee is the broader impact of public allegations of misconduct within the CFMEU on the governance and trust management practices of industry superannuation funds. That's basic. These people have shown that they don't care about their members' lives, their members' health, their members' workers' compensation, their workers' livelihoods, their workers' wages, their workers' retirement. They don't care. They bypass the retirement provisions. Then the next one I want to read out is item number A, terms of reference number A. The implications of CFMEU members holding board positions on these superannuation funds and the potential conflicts of interest that may arise. The potential conflicts of interest are enormous, and we can't rely upon the Labor Party to clean it up, nor on agencies departments and agencies from the Labor government. We see them tightly knit together. And then the third one of the five of Senator Hanson's 6 terms of reference that I want to read out is the adequacy of the independent expert review mandated by the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority in relation to trustees' compliance with their duty to act in the best financial interests of beneficiaries of the funds. Absolutely essential. The CFMEU union bosses who have formed directors of agencies, statutory bodies charged with the responsibility to protect members are stealing from the members or enabling their agencies to steal from members. This is above the law, this lot. They're above the law. And we heard Senator Hanson's reading out the note from Cross River Rail person who's not a member of the CFMEU, intimidated, frightened, scared to work in our country, scared to work. We have now a proven record of the CFMEU stealing from members and workers. Wouldn't it be going on in the super funds they manage? $100 billion of super funds they manage. I support the referral to protect members so that they can retire with security and dignity.